Please welcome Stacey Yamkova from AGS. She is a game release coordinator, and she will be talking about the 7 habits of highly effective release managers. So, Stacey, welcome. Can you
Hi
hear me?
there.
Great, welcome. You can actually start your presentation if you're ready. So,
Yes, you see my
yeah,
screen now.
cool. Let's check it. Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
Great, thank you. So I'm glad to see everyone. And as you already know, my name is Stacey. I'm game release coordinator at AGS, American Gaming System. And today we'll talk about 7 habits of highly effective release managers. Few words just about our company and what we actually do. So AGS is a global company focused and providing all possible experiences in gaming. We're developing slots,
Oh,
games, poker
sorry,
tables.
sorry to interrupt. But I guess we only see your browser screen, not a presentation. So maybe you should change the window.
Uh, could you see it now?
No, still the browser window.
Okay. Let me just. Could you hide it for a moment for
Oh, yeah,
me?
yeah, sure, for sure.
Yeah, remove from stage. Not sure why it happened.
Oh, well, that's fine. Just take your time.
I will try to upload it. Okay, maybe you could add the version which I have uploaded.
Yeah, sure. Let's try this one.
I'm not sure if I could change them online in this way, so maybe I will need your help just to
Yeah,
change
yeah, yeah. I'm just contacting our team right away. So yeah, because I still see like your streaming screen and that's it. Do you have it like an online version, like in Google Slides, or just as a PowerPoint?
Yes, and I guess you should see possibility to edit. Let me just. I have already added it on
Mhm.
backstage.
Just a sec. Let me check what we can do. Um, uh, did you try changing the tabs in the browser? Maybe this could help.
Oh yeah,
Oh, cool.
cool. Okay, once again. So my name is Stacey. I'm game release coordinator at AGS. Today we'll talk about 7 habits of highly effective release managers. And to be more specific about what we actually do, we are developing slots, games, poker tables. This one is, by the way, one of the latest our game. So we are Las Vegas based company, and we are providing all experience of gaming across all the world. Um, so to be more specific about company, once again, Las Vegas based company founded in 2013. We have more than 600 of professionals based mostly in United States, but around the world as well. We have more than 130 ongoing games. I believe that numbers are higher now. Like we have a lot of new games for the last few months. Also, we've got few awards, few um, achievements. Received Higher Bets Platinum Medallion Award, Bonus Spin Extreme Wins Gold at Gaming and Technology Awards. So we are really good. And if to talk about my experience, so I've got 8 years of experience with worldwide and product outsourcing companies, 6 years of managing gambling projects of them, also 8 years in release and project management. And I'm happy to be with Games Gathering for 5 years. So if to talk about my topic and what actually I'm gonna tell you today, so I believe that it's better to start from what is release management and what does it mean. So it's a process that handles significant deployments, often referred to as complex tasks, and its scope encompasses various aspects such as hardware, software, cloud, networks, and code. It involves coordinating and supporting complex endeavors that require substantial coordination, and assistance to ensure effective deployment and processes. The effectiveness of your release processes and management capabilities, both initially and over time, depends not only on the process itself, but also from people who are involved, yes, from release managers and management team. So think of release managers as a ICANN, a traffic controllers. Yeah, for example, their role is to effectively coordinate and ensure safety. So the same we could tell about release managers. So instead of managing airplanes, they oversee IT services, packing multiple changes into a single release to minimize downtime and disruption to the business. So I actually could provide 7 tips how to do that and how to make it effective and productive. So the first tip is, let me just change my slide. So the first tip is to distinguish between change and release management. So it could be obvious, but there is still confusion about the boundary between change and release. Both change and release management are parts of the service transaction stage within the ITIL life cycle and contributing to effective business transformation. ITIL actually defines like change and release as separate items. Like change involves adding, modifying, and removing anything as it could affect IT services. Release encompasses hardware, software, documentation, processes, or other components which are necessary and mandatory to implement one or more approved changes, IT services. So each release is managed, tested, and deployed as unified entity. And in a sense, change management deals with routine tasks like installing, modifying, or retiring elements without disruption the business, while the release management takes a more comprehensive approach, bundling multiple changes into a single deployment to prevent overloading, like change management and the change advisory board. So the second tip, and I guess important part of that, is to have a release policy, to establish a release policy. And just like with change management, release management cannot function effectively without a clear policy. So it's not adding excessive bureaucracy, but rather an opportunity to define the essential requirements for the process to operate properly. So when formulating a release policy, consider the following important items. The first one is release and identification. Determines numbering and naming convention to ensure accurate deployment of the right package in the correct area. The second one is frequency, address scheduling within policy. How often should releases happen, actually? It's better to structure it to address scheduling properly. So how we could do that? I guess the best way is to use schedule, to use roadmaps, to use Jira. Some organizations follow different structured approaches, monthly or quarterly, while others adopt an agile model with frequent deployments. So it's better to specify timeframes in policy to manage expectations regarding release frequency. The next and also important part is our requirements. It's important to define the requirements of each release, such as use authorized licensed software, for example. Also, governance is an important part. So outlines the necessary levels of governance to support the release management process. Your policy should clarify which releases can be authorized through the change management and change advisory board, and which require high-level approaches such as project or release board. The next tip is become a master at planning. It's obvious as well, so master the art of planning. If you have a rough idea of when the release should occur, communicate it as early as possible. Collaborate with change management, project teams, deployment teams to create an associated change record in your IT service management. This makes release visible to all stakeholders and all partners and help to prevent conflicts and scheduling overlaps. Effectively, planning minimize downtime inconveniences to the business by consolidating multiple items into a single release. It has also saved costs like overtimes, external support, callouts, and potential service credit payouts. So be sure to coordinate the release window with other and all stakeholders. Next tip is standards everything you possibly can, as much as possible. So when considering how releases will be constructed and tested, and games obviously automate as many tasks as feasible as possible. While automation may seem costly upfront, it offers significant economies of scale. Automation also reduces the risk of human errors and allows for the creation of reusable templated scripts, minimizing redundancy. So if automation is not an option, focus on standardizing all aspects of your processes. Ensure you have agreed upon templates, for example, for scripts, testing, and documentation to enhance easy of use and consistency. And the next tip is use quality gates as enablers, not blockers. Um, the objective of release management is to enable the business to work with new or updated services. So release managers can inadvertently become obstacles, causing disruption instead of facilitating progress. So one way to streamline release acceptance is to implement quality gates. So in a sense, quality gates expedite the release process by ensuring that quality criteria are met before progressing to the stage, the next stage of the life cycle. So these criteria automate checks, standardize tasks, and reduce cycle time, enabling release management to get things right in the first time and speeding up the acceptance process. So the next one tip is to don't deploy software transfer services. So effective release management goes beyond simply implementing hardware and software. It involves deploying services that empower the business. The approach to the release management varies depending on the organization agility. For instance, ultra agile companies like Amazon, which release software frequently, require different strategies compared to more conservative sectors like healthcare or financial institutions. So tailor your rollout strategy accordingly. Options like Big Bang, phased pilots, Delta releases, parallel deployments, and push-pull approaches are all acceptable or valid. So it obviously depends on organization and processes. So release managers must understand the specific business context to choose the right approach. And the last one tip is to use reviews to make improvements. I guess it's possible to call it retrospective as well. So continuous improvement is the key part. Post implementation reviews or retrospective process, both are a vital tool for enhancing release quality. After each major release, usually 2 weeks, conduct a post implementation review to track outstanding actions, mistakes, capture lessons learned. So inputs could include incidents related to the release, problems and known errors associated, feedback from customers, from service desk, and to talk about outputs, it could be lessons learned, obviously documented in logs, known errors and their workloads, confirmation of appropriate updates to the configuration management database, also suggestions for service improvements. breach of service levels, agreements, like contracts, for example, and obviously update works and structures. Maybe you use like Confluence, or it could be anywhere. So to summarize, we have like 7 main tips to understand the difference between change and release. To have policy, it's mandatory. To become a master at planning. To standardize everything you possibly can. So to use specific flow. Use quality gates. Um, as mandatory as well. Transform properly services and use reviews to have retrospective. Um, I guess it's all from me. Hope you enjoyed. Maybe we have any questions. I don't know if we have time.
Yes, thanks a lot. Yeah, we actually have a few some questions from the audience. There is still some time to answer them. So yeah, the first one is, how do you prioritize tasks and dependencies as a release manager?
So actually, if to talk about me personally, I'm leading the team, and we have roadmap, we have specific and exact flow, and I highly recommend to use this one in your company, in your processes. So we have exact due time, we have exact deadline to finish all configuration, all release tabs, to check if we have all items ready. And yeah, it helps to get everything done in exact time, in needed time by client.
Okay, sorry, forgot to unmute myself. Thanks. Another question is, do you consider player reviews to make improvements, or you only run your internal analysis and make assumptions on what you should enhance based on only these things, or you also listen to players or maybe some outside parties?
I guess it's better to use both. It's important to discuss all things internally and analyze mistakes, errors, problems which could happen at some point. And also, it's important to listen what actually your customers, your players think, if they like these features. Yeah, it's probably and definitely better to use them, if possible, technically in engines and so on. So as for me, it's better to use both ways.
Okay, got it. I don't see any more questions, but I guess you can all contact Stacey after the conference is over or during the event. So yeah, feel free to connect with her. And yeah, thanks
We,
again
we could
for
see
the
each
talk.
other. We could see each other. Sorry, tomorrow.
Oh,
After
actually, yeah, yeah,
I will arrive to Bratislava. I hope so.
yeah, me too. So yeah, so we'll probably see each other. Okay, thanks though. Have a nice rest of the conference, and we hope to see you soon at the next event with us.
Thank you.
Yeah, bye bye. Have a nice day.
Yes. Bye.